we were on the stage that you performed at last night. I was right back there. I was kind of, isn't it
really
wild
small
to see it
stage.
here?
Yeah.
We made it work. We made it work with this setup. So thank you so much for being here. It's really such a pleasure. But I was back there. I don't know if you heard. It was almost like a heckler in some ways, but he had the loudest laugh.
Oh, yes. I talked to him after the show.
Stop it.
I think I didn't hear his laugh. It was a little too far away, but there's a weird thing that happens where people laugh in a way that's disruptive, and it's very hard to chastise someone for doing exactly what you want them to do and not the way you want them to do it.
100%.
And if you call them out, they'll stop laughing, and that also sucks.
My left eardrum, though, is like not the same today. So that's the one thing. But I got to tell you, it was reassuring, to have so much laughter come through here in Madison. So that was always fun. But yeah, you want them to laugh. And you got that last night. So, there are better places to honeymoon than Madison. So congratulations.
We're doing our honeymoon in August. We're going to Africa for a month. So we're putting some time between because the summer's busy. But we went straight to Miami afterwards, which was terrible. I did a gig at I won't. We were at a Quality Inn, so it wasn't much of a honeymoon afterwards.
So I really hope you see the Big Five when you're in Africa. But
we're doing South, so not. I don't think we'll see. Have you done it before?
No, I haven't. My husband has, and I'm like, he saw every single one plus baby rhinos, and I'm just so jealous. I lived through him.
Lion, elephant, zebra. Giraffe?
I like the way you said giraffe.
Yeah.
Like we're just like spitballing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, he saw them all, and I hope you do too. When you were in Miami, did you go and visit where Password was from? Did you venture out?
No, he's on the other coast.
No.
Yeah, our cat is from LaBelle, Texas. I'm sorry, LaBelle, Florida, which is closer to the West Coast.
I'm sure Pass would appreciate, though, that, you made it back to
his origins.
Homeland.
Yeah.
But I always got to get back to your wedding because I have to say, when I saw your wedding photos, I saw the dinosaurs, and I thought, that's just so them. But then I learned last night, that was very unplanned. So when something like that happens, you just look around and think, well, there's a bit that's just handed to me on a silver platter.
Yes. So we got the email before the wedding saying that it was going to be dinosaurs all over the venue. I didn't know what Laura's response was going to be, and it was, as you'll hear in her act, if you see us live, or her live, very positive. So she ran with it in a way that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was an absolute treat last night, and we're not going to spoil any of that because you got to come, okay? But yeah, I've never heard of anyone also having their bachelor party post-wedding. So are you taking the boys to Sokotua National Park, maybe to hike the Hypotenuse Trail, shotgun some beers on Sign Lake, and maybe get lost trying to find the tangent point?
That's funny.
Thank you, and I mispronounced all of those.
You got a couple right. Did I mention post-bachelor party?
I had heard on a podcast that you were going to think about doing your bachelor party after the wedding.
Yes, because I just never got to do one, and my wife really thinks I should do one. She did a good bachelorette party that Mikey was on, who's also in my act. But something. Probably National Park. Probably a hiking one. Did you do bachelorette party?
So I got married in Italy. So actually, I got married a week before you. May 24th, May 31st.
Wow.
So congratulations to both of us.
Yes.
How fun is this?
So freshly married.
We're like so happy, right?
Yeah. Did you do a honeymoon right afterwards?
Yes, we did honeymoon right after. We traveled around Italy and did Sicily. But then my sisters planned the most unreal bachelorette party, like day and night in Florence with my girls. So it's kind of like
on
not
the same trip?
Same trip.
Yeah, I guess you can't go twice.
Yeah, I was like, I'm already like the dick who's asking my friends to travel to Italy. Like I can't ask them to go to Miami too.
Yes.
So
you brought, did he do a bachelor party in Italy as well?
Yes,
in a different
in Rome.
Region? In different parts of the country?
Yes.
That's very cool.
Yeah, right. So they took the train there.
Uh-huh.
So they did that on Wednesday.
Trains are great, yeah.
I know. So good time. But I'm excited for you all to get that in. And, you got to wear your shirt that you had last night. And again, spoiler alert, you got to come to a show to get his merch.
How did you balance, forgive me if this is a bit... I guess prejudicial towards women, but I assume that women are always dieting right before the wedding. How do you balance that with doing a bachelorette party right before the wedding? Because Laura was in, real crunch mode.
Yes. No, I love the question. Thank you. I did a lot of Pilates and bar before my wedding, so now I can just brag about that.
Yes.
But
Laura was a fitness model. It is still, but was training for the wedding.
No, honestly, like I don't drink alcohol. So that actually helps me a lot. So I kind of think like I can eat all the tiramisu I want because I'm not drinking the wine. So it kind of balances out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I went into my
I'm
wedding
the same
too.
way. I don't drink either, and I would so much rather have a pastry than a beer, and for the calories, yeah.
A nightcap. Like I always joke with my husband, I'm like, nightcap, we go to like a restaurant and get dessert at the bar.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing to do. You also quit nicotine. You and I are similar in that way.
Yeah, what was your vehicle?
I mean, I started cigarettes, then I went to the Juul, and then I just tapped out. Well, you just kind of went right into like what the Gen Z is doing.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. Gen Z. That was... Yeah, I started 2021, and I think I quit 2023. It's very hard. It's like one of the hardest things I've ever done. How was it for you?
I cold turkeyed it.
Yeah?
Is that what you did? Well, you went...
after a couple attempts, yeah.
Yeah.
And I went from, 6s to 3s, but that was kind of a symbolic thing. I never was able to, like, portion out. Anytime I gave myself a limit, I would break it. Like, you can only do 5 per day, and then I'd do 6. Like, you can't do it before 8 a.m. You can't do it before noon. And I couldn't follow any rules around it. And that was the part that made me want to quit, just seeing how unable to control myself I was. It was a little disturbing. It was having some effect on my health, and it was having some effect on my mental health more. Just made me grumpy all the time.
It made me anxious.
Yes.
And I'm already an anxious person. So it like just like tenfold.
Yeah.
And then, so did you quit drinking before the nicotine?
I still drink. I just don't. It's just not a big thing for me.
Right.
Are you out the game?
Yeah, no, I'm out the game. I stopped in 2023, so it's been a couple years now. I mean, I always say like if I chose to drink, like I could pick it back up. Like I just choose to not like jump. Oh, I'll throw a word in. I like to remove it from the equation.
That's smart.
I'm gonna
just
have
have
get
it
my
not be a
math
choice.
words in with you here
I
today.
am not like that with nicotine. I can't ever touch it again, especially not in those forms, because I'm sure I would relapse. It had that much control over me.
My last ever time with nicotine, that was pretty symbolic. If you're
What was
interested.
it? I'm very interested.
I hadn't smoked for a good like year, and then I was at a Post Malone concert, and I ripped like a whole pack of cigs in his honor. I'm like, it's like sunflower, like acoustic. It's like, this is the time to do it.
Firing squad death. Cigarette in your mouth? Would you?
No. You know what? I don't think I'm there anymore.
Okay. Deathbed, Zen, absolutely.
For sure. Like
absolutely for me.
I'm like, give me the biggest ribeye with Béarnaise sauce and I'm happy.
Okay.
I don't need anything else.
No,
like
I want to do nicotine one more time before I die. Because
Well,
I loved it that much.
Let's coordinate that.
Okay.
Let's find the time. Actually, and I'll have a big cup of red wine.
Yes.
You'll have yours in.
I'm sorry. If it's not too much to ask, did you have a problem with drinking?
So there was definitely there were some days where I was like this is not working for me. You know, like I didn't know if I was gonna be like a fun drunk or if it was gonna be like I would want to drink the whole bottle. Like I love how Drew Barrymore put it. She's like, I was never the cool girl who could just have a glass of wine with my friends. It was like, no, like we're ordering bottles. And I felt like I was definitely like that. Just realized like, let's just remove it.
Yeah. See, I am not like that at all with alcohol. I can have a drink and maybe I can have a second, but I don't want more after that. Because I get grumpy so fast. And I know I don't, it's just, and I know it's such a genetic thing for people who are predisposed towards that. There's some of that in my family. I feel very lucky to have dodged that. And I spent my whole life thinking I was impervious to addiction, and then nicotine just grabbed me by the neck.
Well, and you shared too that your dad did smoke cigarettes. So like, you know, maybe some foreshadowing there, but you know, you had to try it to know it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
So,
my brother is a casual smoker though.
Okay.
My brother can have a cigarette when with a beer. He smokes like 6 cigarettes a year. I'm like, that's crazy to me. It's so much easier to do none than to do 6.
It's wild to think some people have balance.
Yes.
I am not there. But I really want to also talk about the ESPYs. You were just there. I feel so honored to not only have you here, Matthew, but so quick. I mean, we're hot off the press from the ESPYs.
Yeah,
so
my Whoop sleep tracker is keenly aware of how quick of a turnaround that was.
Right?
Yeah.
So can you give us an exclusive look behind how the Tush Push sketch came together?
So I was not a writer on that. That was already in the script when I joined the team, and I can't remember who penned it or who tagged it up, but it was already in pretty wonderful form. And they just threw me, and I was on the writing staff, so they just said we need a quarterback, and I was the most quarterback looking of the writers, which is not much of an achievement. They threw me in the room, and they put me in costume, and we shot it all, and it was very fun seeing Shane act. He's a phenomenal comedic actor. The amount of like little riffs and improvs we did in that, you could make a movie out of how that character he played, how many backstories he created for that character in that scene, and we ended up just having to do a short version of it. But he's really funny. He's really good at not just stand up, but acting and improv.
Well, that's what I always think about when I watch those sketches or just scenes in general. When like all those comedians are in a room together, I can only imagine that like they're just like maybe who broke character. That's what I always want to know. So who broke character the most? You, Shane Gillis, or Druski?
I held it together pretty well. I had a couple breaks, but I felt firmer because I usually am not a good straight man. I usually break pretty easy, but Shane was just destroying that room. The cameramen were laughing. And a cool part about that scene, the other two guys in that scene are Billy Wayne Davis and Rob Hayes, who Rob was a writer as well, and Billy Wayne is a writer, and they're both incredible stand-ups. The funny part about like everyone in that scene has like a resume. If you go and watch their like Comedy Central half hours or whatever, they're great. They're great comedy voices.
No, it was really fun to see you as JT, and you like really shined in that role. Like I can only imagine they just Googled, fratty football guy, like you said, and they were like, "That's JT."
It's not my first time playing a football. I was in a movie called Balls Out where I played a football player as well, and I am so bad at football. Everyone from high school is like, "What are you doing wearing that? You have no right." I have very bad hand-eye coordination. I'm not good at team sports.
They're like, "Don't you dare try to rep the Lions right now, okay?" Lovett is not owning you there, okay? They're like, "We're gonna take him for like being yearbook staff and everything else, but not a football player." So, any unexpected moments that didn't make it to air that you wished had from that sketch?
Oh, a ton. There was. What was the backstory? There's a line early on in it. They go, "Are you a janitor?" He goes, "No," and that's just never addressed. I'm not doing justice to it, but his reactions in real time to things. What did we do? He came in. He had the backstory of he slept there. His character slept at the school. It was also very much unestablished if we were a pro team, a college team, or a high school team. And at one point we ran with being a high school team, and there was a lot of riffing on us being just youthful high school boys with youthful high school faces, and just addressing the anachronistic nature of our ages versus the context of the scene. That was fun. And that's all I can remember. It was kind of a blur of a couple days.
No, I can only imagine the improv too, that like you guys were all just riffing together. So did you get to walk your mom down the red carpet at ESPY so she can finally be impressed by your comedy career?
No, and she doesn't care about sports. She wouldn't be impressed by that. But one day, I would love to walk her down to what. I took her to my half-hour taping. She's just not impressed by much.
I honestly thought it was hilarious she said that on that one podcast. She literally was like, "No, I'll be impressed when she walks me on a red carpet." It's like, Anne is so honest.
She's
beyond.
There's no filter.
You hit one of your goals from 2022, a full hour special, Hyperbolic.
Cool.
Was there a moment that challenged you and
47 minutes, but yeah, we'll count it.
You know what? I noticed that when I watched it, but I was like, we're just not going to those 10 minutes.
In a way, Comedy Central, so it at least holds to my standard of, I like the Comedy Central ones, which with commercials were 42 to 44 minutes, because that was how, there was this thing when we were kids called television, that you would watch TV, and there were things called commercials that would break up the TV, so you couldn't do. Yeah.
Oh, well, I did have a commercial on YouTube, and it was Arby's. So
you were in an Arby's commercial?
No, that was your ad that came through. So I thought that was great. I was like, I'm going to watch Hyperbolic and then go to Arby's after. So thank you for that. But was there a moment that really challenged you and made you think your dream wouldn't become a reality?
Oh, no, I just doubted myself the whole way. And I knew I was going to do it at some point, but I was afraid. The challenging part was putting out the material and having the confidence I could find a new hour afterwards, because you work so hard on it with the goal of polishing it that you wonder how you could ever have another set of material that's as precious to you and as laughs per minute. And I'm not there yet, but I'm close enough. I'm closer than I thought I'd be. I can get through an hour on stage or a show on stage without having to dip into that well significantly. Yeah.
Well, last night, too, at your show, you tried some new work, which I thought was really fun. I love that you pulled your phone out and you're like, "Do you guys mind if I try a few things?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're getting the exclusive." So that was really refreshing to see, because I feel like a lot of shows I go to, it's like, it's great to be prepared, but it's also fun that you're confident enough to go there too, in front of a group of people. Yeah. So are you going to try out some of those jokes again tonight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The only new one, new one last night, which I've had in my book for years, was the boomers leaving early for the airport joke.
Yeah.
And that seemed to hit And there's a place for it in my act, so that'll be nice to squeeze in.
I think it really hits just because like most people have beef with their in-laws.
It's hacky, but man, is it real? Just the tension. But that's the beauty in our family is that I get along with her parents actually pretty well, and then my mom and Laura they butt heads pretty viciously, and that's pretty fun to watch.
It was actually funny when you guys were on that podcast together when Anne was like, yeah, you used to joke about me a lot more before Laura got in the picture. I was like, I sensed that. I was like, okay, but what I really appreciate is it's like out in the open. Like everybody just no filter, which is very much how I roll. So
when we did that podcast with my mom, I don't think I didn't have as much material about her at that time. I think right now she would probably wish that I didn't do so much material about her, because I put out a lot of stories about her that her friends have all seen now, and she's it's like a publicist trying to like fix her image. So apologies to my mom.
And she has to call Google, the headquarters to find these things. So she's like, hey, YouTube, can you tell me what my son's saying about me? Because she'll take forever to swipe and find that. Okay, so going back to your special, I found it fascinating when I saw the credits, because I like to see all the people involved, that Laura executive produced it, your wife.
Yes.
So how do you balance getting feedback as you asked her to pass the green beans?
She's just always there watching my set and giving me notes and advice, and I take a lot of her ideas. I've straight up stolen some ideas from her before she did stand-up, and she was very useful with the special, more just kind of managing me and my emotions around it. And then I ran through she was one of the few people I actually like ran through my set with, because she knew all the material, and she was really on top of things that night. Managed me, my friends, my outfits, everything.
Yeah, during shirt stacking hour, she did not let bossy Broussard get in the way, okay? But no, I mean, it sounds like you get feedback from Laura, which is really great to hear. But then do you run your jokes by anyone other than Laura, or maybe Mike Birbiglia when swimming's backstroke at the Y?
Yeah. I don't know Mike that well, but we did bond over using the same pool. Danny Gillis, I talk most things through with, because he's just a good friend and we talk every day. And then Chase DeRusso, and then maybe Kunal Arora, and JP McDade would be a guy who I'd love to run stuff by. Some comics I'm friends with who are fun to talk to and have good insights.
So
David Ebert, who's not a stand-up, but
so nobody from the Bruce Troupe.
No, I do talk things over with my brother, but he's not very encouraging. He'll just like pick apart like a detail of why it's slightly inaccurate. I'm like, that's not very helpful.
He's like the
nuance
scientific
where we don't
brain,
need it. Yeah.
Right? And you're like, it doesn't have to be that literal.
Yes, exactly.
Like he wants to build it like he's building the plane, and you're just like, that's not where I'm at. So what's the wildest thing you've done after a show, other than after Bert Kreischer set when you tutored a kid in math?
Oh, that was a fun one. Yeah, that was during his set too. So
really,
yeah, because he did a long show, so I went and tutored, and then the show ended after. That I think that is the record. I think that is the wildest thing I've done is tutor during an arena show.
And then just like well, you weren't drinking, but maybe
I don't think that much.
Maybe you chugged a beer with Bert.
Sure.
You and Ann did take a shot with Bert.
Yes, that was a fun one. On stage, 2014, I was featuring for him when he was still doing clubs, so before the machine blew up. I'd done a weekend of shows with him, and then he brought me on stage with my mom and made us take a shot and told my mom that I was going to make it, which was pretty nice.
And she still wasn't impressed.
She still wasn't impressed.
No, gosh.
Though he did talk to her after the show for a long time about the finances of comedy and ways in which I could be financially secure, and the ways he's made money that have allowed him stability. So that was really nice of him. He was like, it's not just touring. You can make money off like your merchandise and door deals and TV shows. It was just pretty cool of him.
And he's saying all of this completely shirtless.
Yes.
And Anne's like, Anne's like, wow, thank you. And his like nipple hair is like poking her.
That's so
She's
funny.
like, my son is gonna be you.
Yeah. Okay, so you can get health insurance via the actors union. Okay, great.
So do you ever brag to the kids that you missed only one question on the SAT, Mr. 790?
No, but I certainly brag a lot about getting a 5 on the AP Calc without my calculator. That's the coolest thing I did in high school. Was I knew we had taken practice tests enough in class that I knew I didn't need a calculator to get the highest score, because they only grade you. Yeah, that was just fun for me. I knew it was the scoring for the AP exams is like you only need like 50 or 60% of the points to get the highest score. I might have told my students that.
You're
so
like,
apologies
I
to my
definitely have
students.
said all of this.
Yeah.
No, in all sincerity, I could have used you in high school. I am not a math person whatsoever. It's actually wild. My girlfriend was like, oh, come to my guy friend's house, another town. He's going to program our calculators. I was like, oh my God, I need this. Didn't study for the math section. I'm like, this will really help me. By the time he gets to programming mine, he's like, wait, your calculator's from like the 90s. This isn't going to work. So I was screwed. No solutions, no programs. Yeah, test taking wasn't my thing. So
I created one of those. I created a program in my TI for triangles. It was just so if you could just select whether it was angle, side, angle, side, angle, side, 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 and then angle, 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 but that would only give you a proportion. And then side, I did angle, side, side, which was not allowed. There was no angle, side, side, but there's technically a way you can do it, but it just gives two solutions. But I had that in my and I cheated with it. Is it really cheating if I made it?
No.
Yeah.
That is honestly, you should get extra credit for that, and then tell the teacher she's booted because you're here.
And they would make you certain exams that would make you erase your calculator before, and I just wouldn't, because that was a lot of work undone.
Yeah. No.
That's not cool.
They can't take that from you.
I also would jailbreak certain games to make them easier, because there was there's drug dealer, and then there was like Snake. I couldn't jailbreak Snake, but I could jailbreak drug dealer to have. And then once you see inside of it, you can cheat at the game.
Like none of these I know, but I'm like so impressed. And like also I'm going to clip this and then send it to your students so that they just think you're even cooler. Okay, so you started saying no to things about 10 years into your career, you said. So what gig or moment gave you the confidence to do that?
Oh, man. I wish I could remember this better. Saying no to... Oh, I think there was a moment where I just stopped doing college shows because I had a run of them that were just pretty miserable. And actually, the moment was when my club rate went above my college rate. But when that happened, it was not even financially significant, just symbolic of you could, for this same amount of money, you could go do your job in the fun way for people who want to see it. So that was when I started saying, I don't need this. Oh, podcasts I say no to a lot. If it's a Zoom podcast with someone I've never met before, I will not do that. That was a line where I was just like, if I haven't met you, I don't want awkward laptop camera footage of us getting to know each other. That's very, in person or Zoom with someone I know, but never both.
I was so happy you said yes. Because, I was like, okay, he's been saying no to things, but he said yes, Taylor takes.
Sam Talent said you were lovely. I had asked Sam when I got your message, and he was like, she's great.
Oh, my gosh, I love Sam. Mm-hmm. We pretty much flipped his entire hotel room apart for, okay, that sounded so insane.
Yeah.
Emily, Caleb, you know what's up. No, like we flipped his bed over to I basically rolled up and was like, I'm interviewing you today. And we just made it a studio. It was amazing.
Sound studio?
Yes, it was so fun.
Mattresses.
No, I just had to move the bed so we could see us.
Okay.
But
I thought you padded the walls for sound quality. I'm like, that's smart.
That
I should do that with my
may have
voiceover.
Helped.
Yeah.
But no, I'm so happy to hear that. So your path wasn't exactly the equation your parents might have imagined, not with a microbiologist and a chemist at home.
Yes.
But you've said your dad did come around before he had passed. Since then, has there been a moment that's just been so surreal and full circle that you found yourself thinking, man, I wish he could have seen this?
The special, I think putting out the special, I think you would have appreciated that in its entirety, what I was trying to do there. I've done a lot since the best. Tonight Show, I think he might have been sentimental about just for the stakes. My mom appreciated the Tonight Show way more than Conan, which...
Really?
I don't think Jimmy watches this, but Conan was a way bigger deal to me because that's like for comics and for comics, and I think some of the most immortal moments in stand-up history, for me personally, are Conan sets. There's been some great late-night stuff, but the Conan sets are where, Roy Scovel, Gary Goldman, Jay Larson, I think, was on there. All of my favorite sets, most of them were Conan.
I loved his sketch with Mark Wahlberg where he went and worked out with him. If you haven't seen
I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh, add it to your queue. It is hilarious. What's something that your dad instilled in you that still echoes in your life today?
He always said, if someone says, trust me, don't. I like that. It's reasonable to assess your own bias towards things. If you have a strong feeling about something, your goal should be to work against it and understand what of your own sense of importance and how it might dilute your perspective on things. Think about it how do you say it? Like in like a thesis defense, as any scientist would, like be the person who most opposes it, and then value curiosity. Value curiosity over greed. I don't know what else. I think I'll probably think of stuff when it's too late, but.
Well, you can always DM it to me because all of these things are like motivation and ringing true for me. Like I noticed too, you said that you wish you posted more, but at the same time you want to post quality.
Yes.
And that kind of falls under what your dad instilled in you.
I think he taught me things that make me a better writer, but I don't think he taught me the things that would make my career a little better, which is the shamelessness, which is and squeaky wheels get grease, and humility is a virtue often punished. I see a lot of people who succeed having the opposite of those traits, and I sometimes wonder if I had a little bit more of an ego and a little bit more recklessness and self-promotion, that I might be in a different place, but I'm pretty happy with where I am, and I didn't have to compromise too much for it.
I think at the end of the day, when you're having that zen on your deathbed,
On my deathbed.
You're going to be like, you stay true to yourself. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask you, what are Anne and Jerry saying to you in this photo?
Oh, see, that's in Estes Park in Colorado. All I think is, Matthew, we had to get these reservations way ahead of time. It was very expensive, so let's really enjoy ourselves this week. What would they say?
Climb that
don't
mountain
feed the
now.
chipmunks. That would be another thing we'd say in Colorado, because you always want to feed the chipmunks, but you're not supposed to. God, that's a great picture.
They look
not
like
close to being
so,
born yet.
like, just like hip and chic in this photo. It's wild.
It's wild. My mom was 41. My dad was 47 when they had me, and it took me up until kind of recently to realize they, for a long time, were the cool, globe-trotting, childless couple. That was how they were known amongst the rest of the family, and it's so antithetical to the picture I have of them, which is these quiet homebodies who were very invested in just being parents.
They pushed you. They pushed you and Andrew. That is for sure. So when you first started at Lovett, was there a cringe moment that made you realize you didn't fit in?
No, it was just pretty obvious. There was a moment at the end of high school that always stuck out to me. It was the graduation party, and it was the first party I was invited to, and obviously the last. And we were leaving, and I heard a woman going, "You in the T-shirt," and I turned around and I realized I was the only person at the party wearing a T-shirt. A high school boy wearing a T-shirt. Everyone else was wearing polos or button-downs. My school, it was a weird place. Kids would go to parties. They would sneak out and go to parties wearing khakis. There were no adults around, and they still wore khakis. That blows my mind still, that you're a little 17-year-old boy dressed up like you're going to church. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, and they had I went to school in Kentucky for college, so I've seen what you're talking about. Like they have those belts that have
ribbon belts.
Yes, like all the different
It looks
SEC
like a tie.
schools
Yes.
too. Like it's wild.
Yes, they would dress semi-formal of their own volition.
It's like just
Like
weird.
little old men.
You know what's so funny? So I always joke that my husband's like dresses like Adam Sandler because he like literally just wears like
Respect.
shorts. Yeah, like a shirt says "just do it," and I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I'd rather that than a guy who's like, hey babe, like maybe you should try like the designer. You know what I mean? Like so there is like a level of that where it's like maybe a teenager should just be a teenager. He is 28 now, so maybe he should step it up. But I feel like those khakis would not have rocked with him. Was there anybody you tried to emulate at Lovett to crack the social code and the elitism?
I did. One thing I did was my hair was very straight then. It's somewhat curlier now, but I was very upset by how straight my hair was. No matter how long it grew into a bowl cut, it never flipped up, and that was the thing you wanted. You wanted your hair to grow out to here and then flip up right at your eyebrows. Flip up and give you this little visor and do this little flipping in the back. Not like the Beatles. The Beatles was straight, and I didn't want that. So in the morning, I would put on a hat as my hair dried and blow dry it underneath the hat to give it the flip up. That was what I did to fit in.
I think your next special should be all about like the lab for charm and like, and then get your hair going like that.
Yes.
Get the, bring back those Lovett days.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think there's any part of your drive comes from wanting to prove something? Maybe to the kids in Atlanta who kicked you out of the Facebook group.
Yes.
Or to your parents who didn't fully get the comedy thing at first?
Yes, both. Austin and LA. That would be, I would say the high school one has kind of, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with all those kids. I see them. I'm happy for them. I think they're happy for me as well. So I don't think there's, and all of that animosity was a phantom of my own making. But Austin, when I lived in Austin for the summer, I felt very ostracized by that comedy community. Despite having some success, they really did not allow me into their cool little hip shows. And same with LA. I was having, I was doing college shows. I was on television doing stuff with like MTV and Comedy Central, and they still wouldn't let me perform at their fucking 20-person rooms. And they exist in my head as something else now that I want to prove to. But it made me a better comic, because then I started trying to write jokes to impress them. And they were never going to accept me anyway. But it did make me hold myself to a higher standard, and I think that's good. But I should probably get over myself, because those people all quit anyway. So
I have to say, too, that's why I love interviewing comedians and just getting to know, like, your story, too, Matthew, because I feel like it's very similar to asking questions, because it's, like, I'll just approach someone, like, I'll do, like, street interviews, and it's, like, if they say no to me, it's like, okay, move on. Or, like, if you bomb on stage, it's, like, that's part of the game. And I think it's, like, the best tool in life, because, like, that's how life goes. Yeah, so those people taught you something early on. Yeah.
Michael Che said it the other night. It was... the cool part about comedy is anytime you look stupid, that's something you can use. And it's kind of like if life gives you lemons, comedy's a lemonade stand. Anything bad that happens to you as a comic, you go, oh, but this is exactly the kind of feeling that starts a joke. Any type of shame or embarrassment or feeling not enough, you're like, well, that is the only thing that makes jokes for me, is start from that place. Not the only thing, but that's something very valuable to have. And it's a chance to connect with people, because everyone feels that and not enough people share that. And when you share that, we all feel a little better about ourselves and more connected. Well,
and you've said that comedy is a celebration of our shortcomings.
Yes.
So I really like that, because it's the way to also, it's self-deprecating. It's a way to kind of poke fun at yourself at times. But I'd say it's a full circle moment, because you're the guy from high school who got proposed to. So no big deal.
By a pro athlete. Yeah.
So you've said you weren't destined for comedy. I just don't believe you, because how do you explain not being voted funniest yet still managing on the page with them? Coincidence, or was the yearbook editor Matthew already manifesting the bit?
That's incredible. How'd you find this?
May have gotten a subscription to Classmates or something.
God, I could really. Wow. Everyone looks great. Look how attractive. Oh, yeah.
Matthew Lawrence Broussard. You look great in that photo.
Okay, you can't see the flip hair. Mark's got it. Mark up in the top has somewhat of the flip. Bradshaw had the great flip. He had great hair. Bowman runs a clothing company now. He's doing great. This is so fun. Anybody
on that page? Were any of them the ones that kicked you out of that Facebook group? Do we want to? Where are they
today? No. Maybe Buck Miller. He might have done it.
Oh, Buck Miller.
Stuart Rast, his biggest flirt. He was really funny though.
Why were you named funniest? You
Matt
were yearbook
Stringer
editor.
was funniest. I thought it was the other Matt. I thought it was Matt Hall. He was way funnier. Stringer? He was at my show in Austin a couple weeks ago.
Okay, wow. So you have that Lovett support. Once a lion, always a lion.
Always.
But I just want you to look at that photo of yourself a little bit closer. And if you could go back to 2006, Lovett High School picture day, what are you saying to 18-year-old Matthew Broussard?
Nothing. I wouldn't say anything. Everything worked out, so I don't want to mess that up.
Ooh, I like that angle.
And any suffering was meant to be.
Whose idea was the photo on the top left? Or I'm sorry, top left.
I don't know. It could have been mine. It could have been anyone's. I'm not sure.
It's pretty iconic.
It came together pretty well.
It made it in 2 photos in the yearbook. 2 different pages.
I was on yearbook, so I probably put it there. Oh, it was in my ad and in the yearbook. So I probably had some say in that. I probably did the swimming page that year.
The Bruce Troupe did send you off with some sweet words and scrapbook-worthy photos at the end of high school. So what's something that they didn't know about you then that you wish they had?
Oh, my parents and my brother. That I was a decent student, and it was no, that's not true. I don't know. I think we were all pretty good. I remember that font. That's crazy. I remember this font. It was a great font.
Do you know the name of it?
No, but I remember it so distinctly now. It was the one we used for that whole the whole yearbook, at least the one for my name, and it was a solid font. It's a good looking font.
It is. Were you the editor all 4 years?
No, just my senior year.
Your senior year.
I was really checked out that year. I worked so much harder when I wasn't an editor.
I obviously am spending a lot of time in high school because I just really like your origin story. So were you completing your peers' web-assigned solutions to make friends or to get with Mrs. McBroom?
To make friends, Miss McBroom.
If
anything, Mrs. McBroom was very upset. I don't believe you.
Does this smile say just friends?
Yeah. She's cool, man. She was too cool to be a teacher. She was young. She was my best teacher. And I very much undermined her teaching by doing everyone's homework for them. She would fail. So many people would fail the tests, and she was just like, "What am I doing wrong? You're all doing the homework. I'm teaching this," and I feel very bad. I really screwed up what she was trying to do.
No, but
she forgave me for it.
You had to play your cards, and it was a little evil in you. That 80s movie villain was coming out in high school because you were like, if I do all their assignments.
Yeah, I wanted social acceptance really bad.
They won't. Hey, we've all been there. I think honestly that's why your mom had the periodic table placemat, just in case Mrs. Oh, your dad did. Okay.
It could have been either, but my dad, my dad was the chemist, and it was maps and it was periodic table, and that's what we'd eat on every night.
And was that just to really get you guys in that, knowing that that's your future?
Yes, I changed this. I would have told my parents that I would have responded very well to audiobooks, and if I could have mixed audiobooks with reading, that could have helped me be a better reader. But I had a lot of trouble with reading. I had a lot of trouble focusing, and I wish I had the tools then that I have now, which is the listening.
20 years almost since you graduated from high school. So I think it might be time for you to let us in on just some inside jokes.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's see where we're at with this.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Tell us what this was all about.
I don't know. I can't remember what this is from. Oh, maybe it was from high school. It was an impression of a kid that was meant to sound. I don't know. I know the sound of it. Maybe. Oh, it was Chris Palmer. I think it was making fun of Chris Palmer because he was a more twee little boy when he first came to school and filled out quite nicely. But he had I guess we were making fun of him for being effeminate because that's what high schoolers do. Oh, that was because I did a thing called Knowles National Outdoor Leadership School. And I brought it up a lot. It's similar to a one time at band camp type American Pie joke. Yeah.
One time on Knowles.
But I didn't have any friends, so these are all inside jokes that I had with no one. So this is just sad and lonely.
Oh my gosh.
I hate this.
Oh, do you want me to stop?
No. But I wrote my own inside jokes. All of high school is just meant to make you feel excluded.
This one's kind of fun. It reminds me of your wedding.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's probably my nickname for Emma, who was my best friend in high school.
Oh.
Yeah. And yearbook editor.
But your mom was really pushing you to be creative without knowing it at age 4. A love story that continues. Your cock block gargoyles.
That's right.
Would your cock block gargoyles make better comedians or better hecklers?
Oh, comedians. They would be polite individuals. I think those characters would feel... I think they share a sense of isolation for whatever they are. I think that's kind of a lot of them would have a story of feeling alone or outcast in some way, so... Maybe more of a creative spirit.
I like that. Made with love. And then also, like you said, celebration of the shortcomings. So some of the things that they've learned over the years. Since, 4 years old. So that's a long time you've been making those. I just say this one's my favorite.
Ooh, I'm very curious.
I really like Freck.
That was, thank you. That was my first original character. But it's not very original, if I'm being honest. It's very hard to make something that looks distinct. Certainly there's inspiration from other characters there. But that was the first one I made where I just wanted to make my own thing. I had made other characters for years and thought that was the best thing to do, is just make things people recognize. And at some point I got really tired of that. It's very frustrating making something after something because then you have a standard to which you have to hold it. And when you get it wrong, all you see is that its hands are too big or its eyes are misaligned. And when you make your own character, every choice you make gets to be your own choice. And if you kind of screw it up from how you planned it, it doesn't matter. This guy I really like. I really like him.
Wait, okay, that's so special. See, I connected with Freck, and so to know that was your first original work and coming through and just bringing your vision to life.
Yeah.
I mean, those horns are next level. I have to say.
And that was really fun because going in, I had no game plan. I was, I got to the head and I'm like, I should make a horn. I'm like, what if I made one horn? What if I made one horn that splits into two? And then I made it, and then as I was making it flat, it kind of twisted. And I thought, well, what if I twisted the whole thing like a shofar? And it was a cool look, and I got to just keep it. So that's very fun making new stuff. But again, the challenge there is the goal of making an original character is to have someone look at it and not say it reminds me of. And I've yet to succeed at that. So I think a really good character designer makes something where you look at it and it's just its own thing. I am not a sculptor and a professional sculptor, so I'm not there, but that's always the thing to strive towards.
Well, I have to say, though, I don't know any of these characters. I don't follow Pokemon or anything. So everything I saw on your page, I thought was original.
Oh, okay.
So that,
most of it
if
is
that
now.
helps you take away. And, okay, so you also foreshadowed that you were the funniest, okay?
Uh-huh.
Because you're on the same page. Did you also know that you foreshadowed your future wife in the yearbook?
No.
Look at what you sculpted, Matthew Broussard.
Swimmer.
Laura swimming breaststroke?
A ripped black man swimming breaststroke. Yeah. Oh,
I thought that was wild. So you've been sculpting for all your life. You've been super creative. You foreshadowed. And you've also just said one thing that really stuck with me. You can't do anything great without it being cringe.
I'm not the first to say that, but yeah.
But is the first one I heard say.
Yeah, I think good art, I think good entertainment has to be cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you on Cringe Mountain these days? Can you see the peak?
No, I hope I'm doing something embarrassing. I hope I look back at it in a way that I didn't feel then, because that means I'm capturing something honest that if I'm later afraid to express what I'm feeling, then I'm not expressing myself fully. So I'm sure one point we'll come back and I'll look at this and be like, that was embarrassing to say. I don't know. It's just great to say there's something very pleasant about a person who just speaks their mind, even if it's uncomfortable. I think that is what my mom does. It's something I inherited from her, which I think is great, is to speak first and then consider it later, because then you'll get out something honest and real, and that allows you to connect with people. And especially now, where everyone feels very surveilled and monitored by social media, by camera phones. And I think having those moments, people who really go all out, people like Chapel Roan, where they're just unabashedly themselves, it makes us all feel more free and less alone.
No, and I have to say, like, when, especially you brought up a little bit in today's world, like recently someone just flat out, I was at a dinner table and someone just asked them, oh, like, do you like this politician or whatever? And they were just like, and like the whole, like the rest of the table was all people probably like a little bit younger than me, a couple years, and they were like gasped. Like they couldn't believe someone asked that question. And it kind of made me sit back and realize, like, we're seriously in a time where you can't even ask someone like what they think about a person. And I just feel like I hope we get to a place where, like what you're saying, where you can just speak freely and like not have judgment.
Yes.
But we're not there right now.
Well, you risk the judgment, and that's the nice part. I think the judgment's great because it puts a premium on being more direct. I mean, more honest.
Well, in Cringe Mountain, I'm there. I'm climbing Cringe Mountain, okay? So when I see you, but I'm kind of waving.
Yeah.
I'm coming up there, okay? But what would you say to a comedian at base camp afraid to take the leap?
Oh, don't post your stand-up right away. That would be my first thing, is do it for a while, watch the videos, but and I could be completely wrong on that, but I see brand new comics posting all their stuff, and I was 5 years in before I really shared stuff, and it was a bit more polished by then. Still very cringy, but just exponential. I guess Cringe Mountain is not linear. I think you just get, what way would it even be shaped? Okay.
You're the person to identify it.
You have to go over Cringe Mountain or up? So it's like, do you get more cringe becoming less cringe, and that's the shape of the mountain?
You know, I don't know. I think it's just like a metaphor, but I kind of like what you were saying, that Cringe Mountain doesn't end.
I don't think it
We
ends.
don't want it to end, like
No.
what you said, because it's like if you're doing something that's authentic to you and can be, if someone thinks it's embarrassing, it's like, well, that's also, it's up to interpretation.
Right. Fight Club's embarrassing to watch now, and that's a perfect movie. You watch it now, you're like, oh, that didn't age well. Like, good, great. Let it not age well.
You do visual wordplay. That's something that you did on Monday Punday.
Yes.
So let's see if the artist can solve the puzzle. I'm bringing
Okay.
back some of your OG Monday Pundays.
Power Hour Rangers. That was going to be our T-shirt for Beer Bike.
Power
But then someone
Hour
else did
Rangers.
Power Hour Rangers. Those are the originals. Stool Sample, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Dalai Lama, Beetlejuice. So those are some of the simplest ones. Those are always people's, oh, it's from Cheeseburger.
So quick. Cheeseburger
Huh.
shared that.
Cool. And they tagged me. Oh, yeah. That was never a Monday Punday, though.
It says mondaypunday.com.
I know, but that was before I had my branding right. But that wasn't officially one of the puzzles. It was Curiosity Killed the Cat.
Ooh.
And I posted that on Reddit a long time ago.
I tried to solve
Not
yesterday's.
a bad drawing.
And I did not.
That's a hard one.
This is so fun.
The newest one on the website.
You're very creative, Matthew.
Thank you.
Okay, this one I love.
Ash Wednesday.
Yes.
That's been meme-ified, but that was my friend's Halloween costume one year.
Ash
and a lot of people have done
Wednesday.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
I dressed my friend up as it was. It's been done before, but yeah, it's a fun one.
So sometimes, though, you would post puns without a puzzle. This one stood out to me.
Yeah, I wanted to make a series of these. I actually would like it to be a puzzle. It'd be like, it's 3 words, and you can kind of go either way with it. And I didn't think of enough of these, but bipolar bear or polar bear? And there was Curling Iron Man, which was Curling Iron Man, and then Curling Iron Man. And I wanted to think of more of these and make those into a puzzle. But that was when I just posted shit on Reddit for karma.
But bring them
instead of doing
back.
my
Hey,
job.
it's never
I
too
should.
late. So when you posted this back in 2012, were you open yet about your mom's diagnosis with bipolarism, or was this your way
No.
of dealing with it privately?
This was not related to that.
Really?
This was just wordplay.
Just wordplay.
Yeah.
And so you've been open, though, about your mom being bipolar on stage in Hyperbolic.
Uh-huh.
What advice do you have for people who have lost a parent like you have, which I'm very sorry, and then also navigating a parent's mental illness?
I don't know. It's hard when they won't get treatment, so I don't have a solution for the latter. Speak to a professional. Is probably what I'd say. Speak to a psychologist or speak to a therapist about what you can do for the relationships in your life. And then loss of parents. I don't know. That's just a hard one.
No, it's definitely hard. And I also think just you talking about it openly,
Mm-hmm.
though, I think opens the door more than you probably even know. You were the manager of the women's swim team in college.
Yeah.
And Laura, as we know, was a professional swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
So was the DM that sealed the deal something like need a lane partner for life?
No, I just said, "Are you in Austin?" Or I said, "Are you in LA?" We had followed each other already. I saw her on Bumble, and I just said, "Are you in Los Angeles?" I sent her a screenshot of Bumble on Instagram, and she said, "No, but let me know if you have a show in Austin." And then we just started talking from there. So pretty quick chemistry online, and then started texting, and then I had a show in Austin.
Oh my gosh.
And that was our first date, I guess.
Okay, so you didn't use any wordplay to seal the deal.
No, she's not. She wasn't she wasn't huge into Monday Punday. I pulled it out on our first date. And she was like, "This guy's making me do puzzles? What the fuck's going on?"
This guy's making me do puzzles. Okay, that's amazing. My husband's really big on games, so I will never forget when we first played games together, like with his friends all night. There's not even beer the time I drank. Okay, I'd like you to read your senior advice. And just let us know what you think. Up there on the top right.
That's pretty funny. Remember, if you're ever stuck in the bathroom in the dark, a high-pitched clap will reactivate the lights. That's pretty funny. I don't remember saying that.
And you were funniest.
Our bath... I was not funny then. I don't think I deserved it. What did everyone else say? Dear, don't get senioritis until after spring break. Good advice. What Lanier says. Charlie Timberlake. Charlie was very funny. He could have won it. Don't do drugs. Be safe. Stay in school. I will be training for the movie Catwoman 2. That ages interestingly. Halle Berry's Catwoman was a big movie at that time.
No way.
That was a terrible movie. If you're talking about cringe. But our bathrooms had light sensors. Or maybe sound. Who knows? And a lot of times if you're in the bathroom for too long, the lights went out.
But just thank you so much for being here, for
Thank you,
going
Taylor.
through some of your
Thank
back
you for the
history.
diligent work.
Where can everybody find you? What do you have coming up next?
Monday Punday is my social media, and then watch my special if you haven't watched it.
Hyperbolic.
Hyperbolic.
You can find it on YouTube and other places. And then also this weekend Comedy on Stage, which I'll post a little something here.
Okay,
But
appreciate that.
thank you so much, Matthew.
Thank you very much, Taylor. I appreciate it.
The camera ran out. I had so many more questions for you, but I was like,